Hello and thanks for checking out this video series on Drupal. Now in this particular video we're going to, just before we get ready to install and set up our member script, we're going to go ahead and create our roles or various levels of membership in our Drupal site. So let's go ahead and get to it. For example, if you have something similar to what we have here, the niche being real estate, then you may, instead of wanting a silver or gold or bronze or platinum level, you may want a level that is labeled buyers, another level that's labeled sellers, another one that's for salespeople or brokers, and have exclusive content within those particular levels for just those particular individuals. Again, it's your site. Do with it however you'd like. And the way we're going to be setting up these levels, the silver and gold, you can do the same thing, just change the name. So let's go ahead and head over to administer and then create those roles. Wait, what do we got here? Drupal installation, check the status report. Okay, let's see what we got a problem with here. The cron maintenance task. Okay, so what takes place is on, or what should take place and hasn't yet, is on a regular basis a cron job, which is in this case something that is a scheduled task that you can set up yourself, and there's a lot of them, one of which is to check for updates, for example, of the installed modules, mainly the Drupal core update or module for database, this whatever. There's a lot of different tasks that can be scheduled via the cron jobs, and you, in most cases, you can set up these cron jobs in your cPanel control panel. And it's just that they're not that difficult, but there's an easier, faster way. And let's go ahead and tackle that real quick before we get into our role setting. And where we're at now is the Drupal modules .com site, and you can do the same thing at the Drupal.org site. It's just that I like this site. It's pretty cool. It's got a lot of the ratings and everything, and what we're looking for here is the poor man's cron. And you can see over here we've got the highest rated and the most downloaded. Poor man's cron's in the top 5 on both. So let's go ahead and check this out. Now, I've already downloaded this particular module to my site, but just to let you know, we've got some different ratings, little write-ups, all kinds of cool stuff here. So if you got a chance to, go ahead and read those, but go ahead and download it here. Again, you can do the same thing from the Drupal.org site. Just look for poor man's cron. And basically this is all set up for you, but I'll show you here in a second just how easy this is. Let's head over to our cPanel and upload this. Now, one thing that I did not mention in prior videos, we're going into the public_HTML to find where we have our real estate folder set up or our Drupal site set up. But in prior videos, what I've done to install modules is I've gone to the modules folder, and you'd think that would be logical. However, to avoid, what I've found out since then is to avoid potential conflicts or problems with the core modules with our Drupal site, we want to instead create a modules folder, if it isn't already there, in our sites folder, and then all. So it's sites, all, modules. And I just created this so in the event that you do not have one, after you go to your sites, all, and inside your all folder, if you don't have a folder called modules, then just go ahead and create one. You do that just by clicking on create new folder, then over here type in modules and then click on create. Bada bing, bada boom, you're there. Now then, we want to open up our modules folder. We want to upload that poor man's cron file. And where are we at here? And it being a .tar file, it's one that I'm not going to mess with extracting on my desktop and then to upload. It's just much easier to do it this way. Upload it and then just extract the files within our site using the cPanel control panel. Then extract file contents. Boom, 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 done. Let's go ahead and refresh this. Head on back over. We don't have to, but I just want to show you. There, go into there, go into our sites, all, modules, and you'll see our poor man's cron. Now sometimes there'll be a README file in here. Feel free to check this out. There's always some good info in there. Usually stuff like setting up and whatnot, what not to do, what to do to get this functioning for you. But if we head over to our site, let's go to site building, I believe it is, and that's where our modules are. And let's see where it should be down here at the bottom. Poor man's cron. Let's enable that. Save configuration. And believe it or not, folks, that's just about it. Now there are some additional settings for that. Let's go ahead, and I believe it's under site configuration. Poor man's cron. And you can see you can run, you can set this, you've got different settings you can play with here. Frankly, right out of the box, it works great for me. So, I'd say just leave it alone. Unless you want to make some changes to it, you're more than welcome to. But just to show you, let us head over to our user management. No, wait, let's go back to administrator, and I'll show you that that's been taken care of. So you can see the error message is gone now. But let's go down to report status, or status reports, and you can see that the cron job is taken care of already. Just by simply installing it, we didn't have to do anything else. Everything else is taken care of. The Drupal core update status, it's up to date. As you remember, that had an error message on it saying that it had not been. So just by installing it, no settings, straight out of the box, everything's working perfectly. So that's how easy it is just by installing that one module. You don't have to mess with it. No fuss, no muss. Okay, so we kind of got a little sidetracked there. So let's head on over to our user. Oh, we'll get on up there. Go to user management so we can create those roles. And then assign permissions. Now, one of the things we're going to do, now this is, you may recall, I've got these already set up. These are the ones that are default, the anonymous and the authenticated. And frankly, I need to change that to say guest user. And then I've got the admin, and then the Steve is my tester. But what we want to do now is, again, you can name these whatever you want. Just for the sake of this video, we're going to go with silver and gold. And you can always edit them, and in the edit, as I pointed out in prior videos, you can delete them, change the name. If you misspelled them, you can go back and using the edit role link and change the spelling however you want to do it. Now, instead of adjusting the permissions individually, we're going to go right to the horse's mouth and go to permissions. Now, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to allow everybody to have access to the content. Let me see here, because I'm going to show you in an upcoming video how you can protect the different levels. Let's say, for example, you've got exclusive information for the gold members that you do not want your silver members or anyone lower down that ladder of accessibility to have access to. In other words, you've got certain information, say particular downloads or videos, that you want to allow your silver members and gold members to have, but not the non-paying members. Well, there's a process we're going to go through here to show you how to protect those folders so that they are level sensitive. So with that in mind, we're going to allow content access to everybody, the anonymous user, the authenticated user, admin, gold, silver, everybody, but then we're going to limit access to the exclusive information, the premium videos and exclusive videos and content for our gold and silver members, so that only they can have access to those. And if you are an anonymous user or a guest user or a registered yet not a paid member, then you will not have access to those. You'll be able to see them, but whenever you attempt to gain access, you'll be referred to, again, however you set it up, but you'll be referred to a page to sign up for one of these levels so you can have access, which I think is pretty cool. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll go ahead and get to that here in just a little bit. Let's go ahead and assign the permissions here. Let me see. Here are the gold and silver members. And we can just go through here and assign certain, you see, we want them to have access to the comments, post comments, contact, yeah. Not so much administer, that's pretty much the job for the administrator. Access to the editor. I'm still kind of iffy on the upload, so we're going to hold off on that. Don't want them to administer. Now, with the forum, frankly, I'm going to just leave that for the registered and for the paid members. I'm not going to allow access to the forum for the non-registered or the anonymous users. And right here under node module, can allow them access to the content, just as we are with the anonymous and the authenticated. Administer content, no. Administer, create book content. Yeah, we'll do that. Create page content, yes. Create story content. Delete any. I don't want them having the ability to delete any. They can maybe delete their own page. Delete their own story. Not delete revisions. Now edit their own. And edit their own story as well as their own page, and edit their own book. And of course they can view the revisions as well. The path, allow them to create but not administer. Stats, nah, no need for that. Just site reports, no. No, no, no. I think we're pretty well good to go there. And we do not want them to change their own username, so I'm going to untick this. And the reason behind this is there's we want people to be able to affect this through the A member script, not through Drupal. That way we can keep everything stats wise as far as the names and passwords and accessibility through A member. So that's why we have A member. Anyway, so let's go ahead and save our permissions. And that is pretty much it. What we want to do now is, now that we've got our permissions set up for our gold and silver members, we want to go ahead and in the next video we're going to finish configuring our A member script. That concludes our video on configuring Drupal for the membership site. Hope you learned something. It wasn't that difficult. Of course, we tackled a couple items here, not just setting up the roles for our membership site, but also introducing you to and installing and enabling the poor man's cron. Thank you much for watching. Have a great day.